Welcome to my beginner tutorial on how to create a Fitbit watch face. Now, this is going to be the end goal for today's video. I'll show you how to use JavaScript, CSS, and SVG to program this watch face. To start, you're going to need to head over to the Fitbit Studio website. Now, if you click on the Getting Started link, it describes to you everything you need to begin programming your own Fitbit programs. It'll entail what you need for your operating system, what you need to download, and setting up a Fitbit account, as well as providing the link to download the Fitbit operating system simulator, which is how you're going to view how your watch face is going to look. It gives you a basic overview on how to use Fitbit Studio, and if you're a little new to programming, I highly suggest going it over just to have a better grasp of what you're going to do. Now, head back over to the Fitbit Studio website. Here, it'll ask you to log in with your Fitbit account. Once logged in, you'll be able to click New Project. Now, you want to hit Digital Clock just to get a template of what you need to do. You're also going to have to name it. Name it whatever you want. Once opened, on the left side of the screen, you'll see a whole bunch of folders. Each folder is its own separate component of the watch face program. You can read all the little comments that Fitbit adds to sort of help you understand each part of where it comes from. Now, I'm going to head back to my program. You'll find the link to the Dropbox of it in the description below. I highly suggest checking it out, as each line has a comment I added, which explains what each line does in a lot more depth that I'm going to go over in this video. Now, these top few lines are just grabbing data from the Fitbit watch, and we need these to get all the sensor values from heart rate to steps and the time. This allows us to display this information later. Now, this next line is just pretty much telling the clock to update every second, so you get the exact value, but you can change it to minutes if you'd like. Now, these next few lines are just setting up variables for each of our sensors, which you can then go to the index.gui file, and then you can see where the variables go. This helps to sort of set it up later on, which I'll describe later. This next bit of code pretty much creates a function to constantly read your heart rate and then display it on the screen. Now, the next bit of code is telling the watch to constantly refresh the time from hours to minutes to seconds, as well as assigning them to the variables. Right below that, you have an if-else statement. This tells the watch whether you want to use 12-hour format or 24-hour format. This next block of code is getting the activity values from the watch, which is like your steps, how much distance you traveled, and how many steps you've taken in that day. The lines under that is pretty much getting the battery value from the watch, as well as assigning it to percentage, which will go on your screen. We've now reached the end of the main component of our Fitbit watch face program, which is programmed in JavaScript. Your next step is to head over to the Style CSS folder. This stands for Cascading Style Sheets. This is how you're going to display your information on the screen. You can change the font, the color, and the position as well as the size on your watch face. You can head over to the Fitbit SDK, which is the website we were on before at the beginning of this video. It'll tell you which fonts work as well as which colors work. Now, if you type in a color, if it flashes red, you know you've gotten the right color. If it stays green, then the color doesn't work. The X and Y values determine the placement of our text on the screen. It is through the units of pixels. Now, once you're done setting up how you want your watch face to display your information, you want to head over to the index file. Here, you'll see IDs for each of your labels, as well as space for a background. So I'm going to show you how to add a background for your screen. You can choose any picture you want to add. I'm just going to Google wallpapers and choose which one I want to put to show you how to do it. So I'm going to select any one I want and just download it. Once you have the file opened, all you need to do is just drag it into the sidebar and then it inserts into your program. I suggest renaming the file to something easier so when you ID it later in the code, it's just simpler to write. Then, whatever your file is named, put it in the image href section so that the Fitbit watch knows what file to use for its background. If everything is done correctly, we should be able to run our Fitbit Watch Face app and see how it looks. You want to go to the top of the bar, and then you want to download the Fitbit operating system simulator if you haven't already. So I'm just going to open it up so I can connect it to the Fitbit Studio. Once opened, it should automatically connect, or you just hit refresh and click connect. Then you can hit run, and then you can see how your watch face will look. You can also go into the settings, change the heart rate, and you can see the number change on the screen right there. You can change your power, change your display, as well as changing whether you want to have 24-hour or 12-hour time. Thanks for watching my beginner's Fitbit watch face tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new.